What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Project Zomboid, where today we are going to be completely and totally encumbered by the execution of Operation Taco Truck, because we're out of food. We actually got really sick in the last episode. If you didn't see it, I highly recommend it. It was a pretty tense standoff between ourselves and our own mortality. It almost didn't end well, and so what we really need to do right now is we need to make sure that we get ourselves stocked up on food, because we're pretty much out. That's it. Like, we used up almost all of our fresh food. We used up a lot of our preservable food just riding out the illness. You had no choice. That's what you have to do in order to get past it. And so for right now, the things that I think that we need are going to be mostly limited to the edible spectrum. So let's get up in here. We got to store some stuff away. I apologize. I probably should have done this off der camera, but I'm a giant noob like that, and I hate myself, and I hate your enjoyment of my series, and so I sabotage it regularly. That's why I do what I do. And so this will take but a moment, and once we get this all filed away and taken care of, we're going to go outside. We're going to see if we can find some lucrative hunting grounds as far as finding food goes. That bacon has been left out in the sun for like ever. I'm not sure that it's ever going to be useful again. I'm going to throw some carrot seeds up in there. What do we have inside of here? All bathroom stuff. So our window got broken down here as well, which is really concerning. I don't know which window got broke. I think it was this one, and I don't know why it got broke, but I guess it must have just been a random zombie that decided it really wanted to be in here. And so more power to it. I respect the initiative. Unfortunately, my hammer did not, and so my hammer cleaved her head in twain. It is what it is. I think we have just a little bit more for the bookshelves here. And so now that we've got that, I think we should be pretty much unencumbered for right now. It looks like we finally rode out the fact that we had a pretty serious issue. So we got queasy. I think it was from the bad burger that I ate. I'm not sure. I ate a burger that was burnt. And while I don't think that that would kill you, it's called medium well, or well done, or well done. Some people like it that way. Some people like it extra crispy. I'm not one of them, but you know, to each his own. For right now, we had to write out a really serious medical concern right there, where we were popping a lot of pills for about 48 hours trying to ride this thing down, and finally it subsided. And the thing that I would give you after doing that, I've actually never had that situation happen before, is that you should really focus on keeping your stress down. My character was panicking, and I cannot overstate how much it actually made the whole situation worse. If your character's freaking out and unable to keep calm, it makes the illness probably 5-10 times worse. So, you know, keep an eye on it. It looks like we already hit this place. Leave a door open right there. Maybe Hop Street, since down here seems to be a little bit overstocked with the undead. They definitely need to send that over to o.com or whatever the hell that place is, overstock.com. The O, with that sexually suggestive commercial, making me think that it's all about something else. I'm like, oh, you just buy it. So you're like the 98-cent store, but on the internet. I'm like, oh, well, that commercial, you made me pay attention for no reason, and for that, I am frustrated with you. Let's see here. We've got an empty mug, some sugar, some sucre. We've got some tuna right there. A garbage bag and a trowel. I think the trowel is useful for... It either allows you to hide things in the ground in multiplayer so other people can't steal them from you, like a squirrel, basically. Or B, it helps with gardening somehow. And I don't remember exactly how it works. I apologize. There's a hair on my eyeball right now, and it is driving me nuts. I hate that so much. I hate it so much. It's like in my eye, coming off my eye and sticking out into my periphery. So it's checking all the boxes for irritation right now, and I needed to take care of it right that second. So we've got a cabinet over here. It's got playing cards. I don't exactly know how those help out, but I would guess that in some way they probably assist with boredom. We are thirsty at the moment. The water's obviously not out, right? Okay, fill my empty bottles, because it looks like I went through both of them really quickly. And once those have been filled, we should have to worry about that for a while. We've got a bleach and razor. That's okay. We get to go au natural nowadays, because ain't nobody looking anymore. Let's see here. We've got our... Get out of the way, door. You're causing problems. You definitely make a better door than a window. You're like, well, obviously, I'm a door. I mean... That's what I'm specified to do. This is the function that I was created for by my maker, who, might I add, was a pretty cool guy. I think you guys would get along, but anyways, that's beside the point, or at least somewhere along the periphery of the point. Let's just continue forward, shall we? Got a baseball bat in here. Not sure how many more of those we're going to need, but I never turn them down. That's the thing, is I never turn them down. I do wish the game had a little bit more item variety, and I don't know if Indie Stone is just focusing on functionality right now. I don't know, this game's been in alpha for a very long time. This has been one of those projects that Oh, hey, what's up, Zeddy? Let me help you with that so you don't break that window and cause a whole bunch of noise that brings all your friends to town. You're like, oh, but I'm totally in the mood for a social gathering. It's unfortunate. Come on. Ah. Well, then let me do it for you. And hopefully the zombies that are in the street don't hear this one coming. Oh, she got earrings. Hood rules. Alright, so fight is won. Earrings now mine. Hooray, and I shall adorn myself with them in the most adorable of fashions. I think that's actually the only few words that start with adore. So, unfortunately, adorable, adorn, adoration. But see, those all still fall around like the general sort of like we're adoring, we're giving, you know, all kinds of worshipful relations between me and you, and I don't know. It's... I would like to finish Carpentry for Beginners. I think we're about a quarter of the way through the book. We started reading it, but then, you know, we vomited our guts out, and so unfortunately, these sterilized rags are kind of heavy. I'm wondering if I could probably do away with a little bit of that weight by going like so. Looks like we are a little bit peckish. That's okay, because we can solve that in just a moment. This garage over here, I don't suppose you're going to be obliging. Come on, let me open you on up. That's right.
You can call me the surgeon. Cornut's the surgeon of windows.
Let's see here. We got 5 nails. That's pretty good. A fishing rod. Ah, self-sustainability just got a little bit closer. Give a man a fish, and he'll eat for a day. Beat him to death with a fish, and he'll never need to eat again. That's how the saying goes, right? Teach a man to make a fire. He'll be warm for one day. Set a man on fire, and he'll be warm for the rest of his life. I think that's how, I don't know. My dad always says something along those lines. My dad loves little things like that. He thinks they're hilarious. He thinks they're the funniest thing ever. He also likes, I see, said the blind man as he picked up the hammer and saw. He loves that one. He says that one all the time. I don't know if you guys ever saw the episode of The Office where Phyllis, they're trying to get her, they're basically doing Phyllis bingo, where they're trying to get Phyllis to say all her catchphrases. That's like one of my dad's major catchphrases from when I was a kid. Like all the time, like, oh, I see, said the blind man as he picked up the hammer and saw. Like he'd be working on something, and then he'd figure it out, and that would be when he would say it, ideally. We've got a couple of useful things in here. I think the zombie might know that we're in the pooper. No? Oh, never mind. There's a zombie out here. Well, if I can kill your friend before you come over here, it'd make my life easier. I don't mind spraying your blood all over the walls, though, either. I like your shirt. I like how you just have, like, this big blob of just neutral colors. You're too good at dodging. See, that's the problem. Why won't you fall down? This is a really, really resilient zombie. I don't know what's wrong with that guy. He's got amazing balance or something, but he ain't falling down. He's done with my shenanigans. Canned peas, which is what we came here for in the first place. A little bit more water. We got a can opener that's perfectly fine. Some chips. A bowl of water. Yes. Oh, that bag must be full then. There we go. Dead mouse probably not going to be helpful right now. We don't need that techno going on. We've got, what's beta blockers? Yes, indeed. After our recent medical emergency, I think having, there it is. We'll stock up for a long time right there. And so is that all my space used up? It's got to be getting close. So the big hiking bag over here. Let's eat the cheese. Yep. It's already been cut, so obviously that entire phase of this joke, I could have got there. If we had to cut the cheese ourselves, obviously I would have made that joke because farting is hilarious. I am one of those people. Call me a pleb. Call me unrefined, call me whatever you will, but flatulence is hilarious, and I will never stop thinking it's funny. You can't make me. It's the joke that keeps on giving. It's the insertion of the absurd into any situation where it doesn't belong, and that's why it's always funny. I was going to write a hypothesis on it, a scientific paper. I know other people have talked about it. Some guy wrote a book about purely farts. Like, there's a book about farts. That's all that it's about. It just talks about, like, the history of farts, and I'd be like, oh, well, since day one we've been doing it, and I don't think we ever stopped. This guy's kind of green for how quick he is. Like, they change colors. I don't know if you guys knew that, but the zombies change colors as they go from being, like, more spoiled to less. Oh, my God, there's so many in here. Okay, so not trying to have a repeat corncob experience. No. How many of you are in here? This is getting a little outlandish. It looks like the whole family died upstairs. Don't really need... Oh, there's 2 keys? Well, what do the keys go to? I mean, there's 2 sets of keys, so let's say... Did I take it already? Alright, well, we'll take them and we'll go downstairs and try and figure out what they go to. This guy's got sleeping tablets next to brick toys. That must be his, like, everything I don't know where it should go shelf. I have one of those. I know you have one in your house, too. Everybody does. Like, I don't know where this goes shelf, where you just put, like, all that random stuff where you're just like, what do I do with this? I don't know. Just throw it in there so I don't have to look at it anymore so my house doesn't look messy, even though it technically still is because things aren't organized. That closet makes me very, very nervous. A box of nails and a saw. That means we can plane wood if we can ever find an axe, which is a good thing for us. I'd kind of prefer to get this whole place picked through before leaving, just so we don't have to come back. Ah, expert farming, master fishing, just in case you want to increase your skillses. I'll probably pick up a little bit more. Movement, okay, so we're under a heavy load right now. That's okay, so that has 60% weight reduction. What does this have? Out of curiosity, 70%, capacity of 14. It's got a capacity of 10, okay. Not going to be that helpful, although there's a second bag right there that we could take with us. Throw that in with everything else. I know it's going to make us real, real heavy for right now. I'm not saying that you're heavy. Believe me, I would never do that because I don't want you to go on a murderous rampage. I've seen what you could do with that hammer. I'm not saying you're heavy. I'm saying you're overweight. Not overweight, just I'm making sure for clarification purposes nobody ends up offended, including you, Cornet's like,
Thank you. Thank you for talking about the overweightedness. It makes me very, very nervous. It was one of those things that my father was not very sensitive about. He used to call me Little Chubby, Little Train, Chug-a-Lug, all of those little things, and he thought that they were endearing, but they were not endearing. They made me very self-conscious and upset.
And because I'm a nice person, I like to apologize for things that I haven't necessarily gone through with just yet. Some might also call that being non-confrontational, maybe. I don't know. I don't think that's something anybody's ever called me. I've always been kind of confrontational. That's just, I'd rather get it over with now. I'd rather get it over with now. That's really the end-all, be-all of the conversation. Is like, if I have a problem, I'm just going to state it up front. I'm too old for this, like he said, she said, back behind the back type thing. I'll just be like, listen,
I don't like you. I know that you probably don't care that I don't like you, but I'm putting it on the record right now. I don't like you.
That's disinfectant over here. We've got earrings, fishing rods. My God, let me come back after I organize this. Alright, so we're back in business right now. I think we're going to go to bed for the rest of the night. It took me almost till 11 o'clock at night to get all the stuff organized and set up. I wish inventory management was a little bit easier in this game. I spend like a really, really absurd amount of time just like moving stuff around. And if you could... I know it has to do partially with me being OCD about where things like have to go. Like I have to have things like in the proper spot. I like to play house and all that fun stuff. However, that being put up front, there is like a lot of just random item shuffling in this game, and I'm sure other players have noticed it as well. How you would go about alleviating that, I don't really know though, because there's so many things to pick up and so many things to work on. I think that's just the drum from the song. Pretty sure it's just the drum from the song. Let's go ahead and eat some beef jerky for right now. We'll come back later tonight, and we'll try and cook up some of this stuff. I think some of it's going to spoil before I can get it taken care of. It's still pretty early in the morning, so I think we've got options. I think I'm going to go down the left this way and just see what's... there's a horde down that way, and one of them is quite aware of me. So is the horde still down here too, or did it migrate? Trying to keep track of the major zombie movements in this area. It looks like they migrated a little bit. Okay. They face some form of migration. So you're not going to fall down, are you? It's going to take me a little bit more work to get rid of you. Yep, there's one down. Is it down to timing, or like how does that work? Like what determines whether they fall down or not? Because it used to be like you charged up a melee hit and then they always fell down if it was fully charged. That one's going in all headstrong. See how much more damage I can do here. The speedy one in the front, definitely the biggest problem. We leveled again. Got a freebie skill point. Good. Not a freebie, actually. We definitely earned it. We've been killing a lot of stuff around here. But I do think that clearing this area out probably make my life a little bit easier. Follow her down with an extra swipe. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to finish off the job. He's now down, so that alleviates a little bit. I like the word alleviate. Makes me happy. There's another one down, biting the dust, as they deserve to do instead of my flesh. Oh no, that one got back up. I thought that one was dead. They need to come up with some kind of death animation that's exclusive. I liked it back in the day how the blood splatter was exclusive, and now it's not reliable anymore. Sometimes they fire off the blood splatter and they're still up. I don't know, there's got to be some indicative sound effect or something to let you know that you took them out so that you can move on to the next target. I thought I saw another one over here, but she might just be moving around. Maybe it's just me being peevish, but anyways, it's what I would prefer. Wow, that's a real fast one. That one's ridiculously quick. A little bit of slow-mo right there for a second, too. Oh, we got her. Good. Okay, so that's actually very, very satisfactory. That makes my problems much, much less severe than they were previously. I think I'm going to try and get you. There we go. I don't know why I'm hearing a heartbeat right now. Maybe it's just my panic level is a little bit too high. Okay. We have 2 extra skill points. Unfortunately, we don't really have many avenues that we can put them in. There's a lot of skills you can learn in this game. I'd like to get angling kind of leveled up. There's a lot of like random little things that you can level up, but they all require a concerted effort. Like you've got to sit and do them. You got to sit and do them for a while, which is unfortunate. It's just you have to do it. You have to do what you have to do, and so it is what it is, I guess. But anyways, my point here is that we need to work on our skill sets a tad, because I do feel like I like to focus on blunt weapons personally. I probably, even if we found an axe at this point, I might not make the swap. I don't know if I should finish off this block or what I should do here. I think we've been down and through here. If not through a window, maybe. Yeah, I was going to say, this building looks a little bit familiar. Obviously, a fine procurer of the color red / pinkish reddish. I don't know. I'm bad with colors. Don't ask me. I know all the basics, the Roy G. Bivs. Pop that window open and hope for no alarm. Fingers crossed nothing bad happens, so we're looking solid right now. Always prefer that things look solid rather than liquidy. It just makes them that much more of a mess. I don't know. Cleaning up liquids, nah, I'm good. Cleaning up solids, that's not so bad. If they're slightly moist solids, that still seems like it sucks. I don't eat TV dinners very often because they tend to make you sick. They have like some modifier on them that I've heard multiple people talk about, where in some way or another they have a higher tendency to make you sick than other foods do. And so I really personally just avoid TV dinners, if you're wondering why I'm not picking them up. I don't know, I've heard multiple people mention it in passing where it's just like they avoid TV dinners specifically because bad things happen. They're kind of like the new watermelon. Back in the day, watermelons were the thing that you never wanted to touch or deal with. Nowadays, it's TV dinners. It rotates. Yep, that's what I was worried about. Let me see if I can, hey, hit him before he gets back. What are you doing right now? Hit him before he gets back up. There you go. That's what I was looking for. This guy's got the key to the house, but it doesn't really matter. If you're playing on multiplayer, I would say collecting keys is probably a pretty decent plan because it would allow you to lock yourself in. However, how does that work on a multiplayer server? You would assume that only one copy of the key would drop, right? What do cotton balls do? We'll have to sort that out later. Bleach. Bleach. There we go. I could say words today. Bleach is one of those things that I would assume we could use it in all kinds of chemical cocktails. It is a fairly strong base, so you might be able to find something useful to do with it. It looks like they were remodeling in here, but they do have a bucket, and we could fill that with water, which is kind of a big deal. The bucket holds a lot of water, like quite a bit, like several days worth, in fact, so if you can fill that up, you're probably in decent shape. Don't really care about the golf club anymore. I know that I'll probably regret some of these decisions later on, but at this point I think it's time we become discerning so that we don't get bogged down looting random buildings for random stuff that we don't need, like our 38th golf club. Straight out through the back door. We're not going to take the key because we don't really have much to worry about right there. This alleyway is troublesome because it blocks a lot of line of sight, but since we already cleared everything out of the neighborhood, I don't think we have to worry about undead-related hazards, those things which enjoy scratching, biting, and ending my playthroughs, as they did for our current character's father. Couple more hammers. I never turn down hammers. I'm a sucker for hammers because you need them for construction, and they do wear down over time. And so having 10, 20 hammers just laying around in your woodshed or whatever in this game is a really, really good idea. It will make your life easier at a later point so that you aren't constantly scrounging for bits and pieces. Getting to know the neighborhood a little bit, I think that I'll need to look at a map pretty soon. I've been trying to keep it blind up until now. I said that after the last one too, but honestly, after we got taken out, it put us to a new location. So I figure what I'll probably do is in future episodes. Wow, everybody got hammers out here. Good for you guys. Awesome. That gives us, what, 5 hammers? Yeah. Not only can we drop the hammer, we can drop the hammers. We can pluralize if we wanted to. No burglar alarms for the last couple buildings, too, which is really, really good. he said as he broke into the house that had a burglar alarm. Ooh, there's pie. Yes, please. I was to understand that there would be pie and punch. We've got cereal over here. Yes, I will take you as well. Canned beans. Absolutely. That's a staple of survival games. If you won't take the canned beans, what will you take? I've never taken the salt on anything. Do you eat salt? Like, you probably combine it with other things like in a bowl or something, and then it makes a better meal, but never gotten around to it. The only thing I've actually ever cooked, like, specifically in this game was like a pot of beans, for example, which is like the thing that they show you in all the tutorials. They'd be like, how to cook a pot of beans. I'm sure by this point you can make all kinds of good stuff like cakes and all kinds of numbers, but now is not the time for numbers. Alright, little bit peckish right now. We can eat. Nothing inside that room was holding my breath, in case you're wondering why I got all quiet. I get nervous now. After Corncob got dealt with, it makes me nervous when I walk into rooms. I don't enjoy it anymore. Get a couple more bullets. It looks like we might have enough for some target practice if we wanted to keep that up. Somebody clapping off somewhere in the neighborhood right now, as long as... Ooh, that's a pretty shirt. I'll wear that one. How blue is it? Oh, it doesn't look blue. They need to get their color palette sorted out. They need to get their color palette sorted out. Every single time I equip something that looks like it's going to be purdy, it isn't. It's just like some washed out weird color. Any pills? Soap. Anybody want to use soap for anything? Sheets of paper. Okay. Nothing that I want to bring along there. Is this little closet occupado? No, there's nothing in there. Good. Let's keep on trucking. I want to hit like as much of this neighborhood as I can before I got to clock out for the night. It's almost stream time for me. You won't be almost stream time for you because this is going to be probably aired about a week from now. However, let's see. Cotton balls. I'll take those because cotton balls are always useful. You can actually use them to start a fire. You can use them for a number of interesting things. In fact, I keep a big old hunk of cotton as kindling inside one of my camping kits, like a big old wad of the stuff, because if you wrap actual wood and like kindling in it, it goes up quick. It goes up real quick. It's a good ignition source. Not even like a good kindling, just a good ignition source. You light it and it goes up real fast. Kettles, good. We can fill those with water. And then I don't think he got the second one, or she got the second one. Got another trowel and another water bottle. Any water receptacle is always acceptable to me. This place doesn't look like it has a... Oh, it does have a second story. Well, what do you know? The first tale was told, and there's a second one all lined up. Still looking for a shotgun, which is actually the more useful of the firearms. However, we haven't got that lucky yet. We do have a lot of cigarettes and some lighters. The lighters are important because they allow us to make Molotovs, which I never got a chance to test out in one of my previous playthroughs. We are now officially overweighed. I don't know if that's because I've been accidentally putting things in here. It's my sneaking suspicion. Why do I have an extra pair of pants right now? Oh, because I took them off, probably. No, that's not really what I wanted either. Why are you being so difficult right now? Here. There we go. No! I can get these into the proper bag. I know that I can. I need to focus, and I need to man up right now. I really do. I need to get it going. Looks like we're a little bit warm right now, so I think we should probably take off our shirt or our skirt. Doesn't really matter. You know what? Unequip the skirt. Doesn't matter at all to me, and that should help us cool down. We're just going to run around in our undies for a little while because why not? It's the apocalypse. There are no standards anymore. We'll just do whatever the hell we want. Although it does beg the point that being nude is kind of like our natural state. So who was the guy that initially surmised that it was going to be like standards and practices we couldn't be naked anymore? Who decided that? Being naked is one of my favorite things. Being naked is fantastic. Who doesn't love being naked? It's great. I don't know. I go to hot springs and stuff though, and I just jump straight in naked. I've been skinny dipping on like many occasions. I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all. I'm comfortable. I know exactly where all my little curves are. We'll go over here, and then can't nothing surprise me. Other people there and everything. I'm like, you're all naked. Why can't I be naked? This is boo. I want to be naked too. Being naked in nature, probably one of the finer things in life. Just ask Slosh. He posted a picture the other day. It was National, I think, Naked Gardening Day. Posted a picture of himself gardening. Oh, we got a little bit of that laggy thing happening again. Okay, there's one. Squeak off a couple kills here. And there's another. How come none of y'all got axes anymore? Used to be axes all over the zombies. They were everywhere. They were laying in... Oh my. Okay, so many zombies down there. Don't really have time to handle that issue. Anything going in this direction right here? It looks like we've done a really actually amazing job of wiping out the entire neighborhood. We pretty much killed everything. I'm pleased with our progress. Got another dead guy up in here. Burglar alarm? No. Close that off really quickly. Oh, there's a couple of them in here. Okay. Let's drag them outside real fast. Come on, gentlemen. I need you both out here. Come on. You can do... There you go. I knew you could master a doorway. It's not that hard a technology. It's confusing the first couple times, I admit. Back in my toddler days, I ran across that where it's like, doorway, yeah, what do I do? Do I go through it? Do I go around it? This is so confusing. Why do humans do these things? But then I learned. I'm kind of afraid to fight him. Yeah, near the window for exactly that reason, right there. We could actually have a long-term problem right now. That window could very likely bring this horde. It did not. Okay, so we're good. Let's go back inside. Medicine cabinet. The food is more important right now. There we go. Ah, chips and chocolate for the happiness. Happiness is a good thing. We got some peanut butter right there, one of my favorites. I love peanut butter. We'll throw that in there. A couple more gardening supplies too, because I think we will be living off the land. Not super soon, but I'd like to do it in this series. I don't know how long this is going to go or what challenges are going to be in front of us, but I would very much like to have sort of a subsistence living part of this series. So there is more food in here. Maybe we'll come down to the end of the block later and solve it on off. For now, I'm going to sign off. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerdcast for the next episode of Project Zomboid. Forgive me as I bump my microphone. I will see you all in the next episode. Hi, do everybody. I'm going to run nakedly back to my house, and I'll see you tomorrow when the series commences.